Thompson on lap 1, the quickest of these drivers into the first corner. That's impressive.
Good morning. We are almost to Limerock for Gridlife Circuit Legends. We came out last night, stayed close by, so we're going to be ready for this morning. This morning is a test day. We're just going to put down some laps, get the car shaken down. There's a few things I got to do, laptop work, whatever. So we got here with enough time yesterday that we met up with my friends Dustin and Nicole to their super secret hideaway secret spot with all their super secret whips. So I'll have Sean show you what that was all about now. Is actually circular.
Whatever that, I believe there's actually plastic in there.
Yeah, it looks like they protrude a little bit. Man, I can't tell. I mean, it's got the bar though. Like my car has 99 tails, but I just don't know if they're real. I gotta take them out and see if like somebody has been in there, like heated up the butyl and all that stuff and took them apart. I don't know. And like was this line the same on the non-99s? The shrouding over here? Like where it goes from clear to black?
Yeah. I don't want to grab it.
Along on the road, I don't know if that matters. Yeah, so it does have that inner, yeah, so that's all the same. And like, was this darker, or did they just all fade to purple? Yeah, they straight up changed the lens. Gosh, I don't know. I'll have to, now that I know that if I look at an angle, I can see that protruding edge. Okay, we're here. Car's out, we're all set up. I'm going through some of the data stuff. There's some things that I changed this year, obviously going up in power and changing class and blah, blah, blah. So just setting up the ECU, some of the alarms and safeties and that sort of thing. Getting the AIM, which is the telemetry, so like our lap data and all that stuff. Getting that cleared out and set up. We've got video in car as well. That's all sort of part of the same system. So basically we're here Thursday, and this is a test day. Eric's never driven the car with the current setup. So it's just get his feet wet, sort of shake it down, see what sort of shortcomings we have and what we can do to try to rectify that in preparation for races to start, qualifying to start, everything like that on Friday. So yeah, we're just right now it's guess and check, and just make sure that it's comfortable to drive for a full length race, and we're gonna be looking at all the data. All right. like 5 gallons is what we're going to need to put in it. She's got a temperament, you know. But we're good. I mean, you know, I was surprised. Front right's coming up. So we staggered this by a PSI, and it came up even more, which means you're tired down, and it's doing a lot of pulling. You know, like, okay, this is like a throwaway tire, the left hand.
Right.
So I went, we started 25, 26, and it was like 33 and a half, 34 and a half. So I'm surprised how balanced, yeah.
Well, you're really leaning on it.
Sure,
but
but
still,
you got a long time to cool down. I think that lead tire is pulling a lot. Test day went pretty okay. Where the heck were you?
Me?
Yeah.
Up there.
Where?
Shooting on track.
Yeah. Shit. Well, Shawnee was riding all around, so I'm sure you saw a whole bunch of that cool stuff. We were in the pits most of the time, just dealing with little nuances and things and stuff, but basically what's going on is I noticed when Eric came in, there were no issues, the car didn't have any issues or anything like that with voltage, but I just happened to be peeking in at the dash and I saw that the voltage was at 12.2 while it was running. That's not enough, and these alternators are not super easy to find, so in the US it's a 93.5 to 95 MR2 turbo with power steering alternator, so it's the high amperage. It's a different bracket. It's very specific. I wish we had designed and swapped this out for something like a common Honda alternator or something a long time ago. But actually D-series alternators spin the wrong way, so I don't know if you can charge them backwards, but either way, so there's like an alternator like 4 hours away, and it was still working. So when it came in hot, it was you'd rev it up to like 4,000 RPM, and it would start to charge. But at idle and low RPM, it's not charging. So it was like, do we drive 4 hours to go get an alternator that's a remanufactured Duralast junk, you know? So it's like, we know we've already 5 of them have failed, you know, whatever, over the years, 10 years, mind you. So we let it cool down, then we fired it back up, and it seemed to be charging okay. So now we're concerned that maybe it's like temperature related. So we've never had a problem with brakes on this car. We run DTC 70s on a huge rotor. They don't get hot, so we don't need these brake ducts. So we stole the brake ducts to make an alternator cooling duct. So we're gonna be cooling the alternator with air. Hopefully that keeps it in the round. These are only 20-minute videos. These are only 20-minute races anyway, so if we can keep it cool, like, it should be enough. Otherwise, like, car makes good power, handling is okay, everything else is working well. We had some issues with corrupt data cards and stuff like that, but like, whatever, test day. He's doing good. So this is what we're going with. We're gonna air cool the alternator, hope that helps. I know that Turk's had pretty good luck with his pro car, the Corolla. He had issues with alternators overheating and whatever, and he ended up doing just a duct in order to keep it cool, and it seems to be pretty good. Obviously, you know, Formula D, 60-second runs versus 20-minute sessions is a very different thing, but you know, whatever we can do to get cold air back there, we're gonna try. And it's better than driving 4 hours to get an alternator. That's probably not going to fix the problem and take all day tomorrow to replace, and this, the whole thing. It's just the whole thing. So this is what we're going with, and here we go, tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, Kevin. Okay, so we went out for qualifying with a bad alternator. We did our little fix and tried to put a cooling duct to the alternator. It worked a little bit, then the alternator got hot and it stopped charging. So I put out a call on Instagram this morning asking if anybody in that area was able to bring an alternator from a place that we found down in New Jersey. So I did have some guys reach out. Somebody was able to go over and get one. They're on their way up here now. We're probably not going to have it for the race, but he was able to finish the qualifying session, which is the same length as the race, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to last the whole time. We've had the car on a battery charger the entire time, so hopefully the battery's charged up enough to at least make it through. What else? It's really hot. So it's really hot here. The tires are greasy. We weren't really able to put down an extremely fast time, but Eric was able to qualify 5th place, so we'll be starting 5th. Hopefully, you know, once they actually get into some real wheel-to-wheel racing and it's not just time trial by qualifying, we'll actually start to see some of the true driver skill of people in this class. I expect a few of the guys to be fast just because they have a ton of seat time all the time, but there's a lot of guys who just have very fast cars but are not extremely fast, namely some C8 Corvettes and things like that. So I'm hoping that we're able to finish at all, let alone finish well. The alternator, this guy Sam is bringing it up from New Jersey. So once that comes back, hopefully after this race, we'll be able to swap it, confirm that everything's working correctly, and we'll be smooth sailing for tomorrow.
Time to go racing in Gridlife GT race number 1. It is a new Edge Ford Mustang alongside a Honda Civic TCR. 8.9 to 1 powered away in its first year of competition. Green flag and we're underway. And immediately Hans Horpenal jumps out of line, 3 wide, drives up to 3rd place. Houghton takes the lead and into turn 1 here, Mark. Hans Horpenal from the back of the field, the 2nd and 1 straight away.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting there that AJ decided to take the inside line, but it does not look like it's worked out. I don't know, maybe he had a mid-shift or something. He was side by side with James, and then kind of lost some ground. Hans jumped up there as well, so unfortunate, but I bet that AJ is going to be able to get back up there with James and put him under the pressure.
uphill. DeLucia a little bit better through that portion of the racetrack, but we've seen Thompson be really aggressive on those curbs. The car seems to take those a little better.
AJ poked his nose into the mirror of James, trying to kind of throw him off his game. Chris DeLucia goes to the outside. We're going to see if he can make it stick. He doesn't. He cuts back in.
Yeah, he cut left really hard. He started braking behind Thompson and then sort of decided middle of the braking zone to pop out of line. And when he did that, it almost threw him off the racetrack there. So a very aggressive maneuver to try to stay around here. Whoa, spin! Thompson goes around turn 4.
Looks like he carried just a little too much speed, trying to keep DeLucia behind him, and then that back end just kind of came around, and it was a bit of a lazy spin, but that's a really tough place, especially there at the crest of turn 4, because you've got some camber on the inside, but at the outside it kind of actually falls away. So once you kind of get over that edge, it's very easy to get the back end to come around on you.
One 4 hours away, but Sam, you came through, dude. Thank you so very much. This is incredible. So these are really hard to find, and we found one a long ways away, and I put out a message and the people responded. So this was just hand delivered to us from New Jersey. Incredible. All right, we're gonna put this thing in.
To this offering here at Limerock Park Circuit Legends with Gridlife from 8 to parts on their cars, and so the proving ground is where the proving mount. And again, they are here
And Gridlife GT Race 1 underway. James Houghton immediately jumps to the front ahead of David Bamforth here. AJ Hartman right in line. Mark Kilgore joins me again. Mark, it's been a nice, cool morning. Good for racing, good for time attack, and we're back underway for race 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing some of the usual suspects up at the front. We've got James out front. It's great to see David back up there. He had a challenging day yesterday, but he's now chasing James, seeing if he can run him down.
Bamforth splits the difference between Hartman and Houghton. And so some interesting stats. We were looking yesterday at the Fire Labs data. We'll talk more about that in a little while when we get some data from this race. But AJ Hartman was consistently faster through the corners, had more lateral G than James when in qualifying. As David Vanforth too much into turn 1, and he's in the grass.
It looks very similar to what he did yesterday, but looks like he kept it on track. He just rode it around the outside, and then able to come back on, and looks like he's now behind DeLucia.
Yeah, DeLucia's going to get around him here. But as I was saying, it was Hartman that was quicker, more lateral Gs in qualifying. But when it came to the race, he wasn't able to pull the same Gs in trail of Houghton because of the aero wash. So that was really interesting to see. Whoa, big miss there by the number 165 Eric Thompson. But Eric Thompson on lap 1, the quickest of these drivers into the first corner. That's impressive.
It is. Maybe he's getting a little bit of a draft from the few cars in front of him, able to, or maybe he's got a better run out of turn 7, the downhill. Back up there and see if he can catch Houghton and AJ Hartman in the front.
David Vanforth trying to get back by Thompson here on the front straightaway as AJ Hartman comes across the line, actually has the best lap of the race so far, so keep an eye on that gap, 1 second between him and Houghton. And we might see a rehash of what we saw yesterday with those two battling at the front. Thompson in that Toyota Celica, such a cool car ahead of a Porsche Cayman. The diversity in Gridlife GT, though the field is a little smaller than Eibach GLTC, the diversity is still just as strong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see cars like this. You got what is that, an 80s, 90s Toyota Celica versus a new modern Porsche race car. So really cool to see. It looks like Thompson's hood is flapping a little bit. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. Maybe, hopefully it is secured down. Last thing you need is a hood flying up.
Okay, so we skipped a bunch of parts. This is the end of the weekend. We were able to run 3 of the 4 races. We got an alternator delivered by somebody in New Jersey. Shout out to Sam for bringing that up again, dude. Awesome. We had to bow out of the 4th race because as we're entering the grid, Eric puts it into reverse. Now we have a sequentially shifted H-pattern dog box in the car, and basically it's an aftermarket kit that includes different shift forks, shift rods, and the dimensions are not exactly perfect. So as he shifted into reverse, the 5th reverse fork rod actually smashed into the inside of the transmission case and blew the end of the case open. And all the transmission fluid came out, and we had to bow out. So we weren't able to run our 4th race, but we did run 3 races. I believe it was 2 P4 finishes and 1 P5 finish. A lot of attrition. There was like 8 cars in the class, but you know, it's a new class. GLGT is a building class of kind of catch-all of fast stuff, and people are still figuring their cars out. So there was a lot of attrition, cars bowing out. There was also a lot of tire failures this weekend. Chris actually had 8 steer tires blow the sidewalls out, brand new Falcon RT 660 pluses. So I don't know, maybe Falcon's got to figure something out about that, but he did talk to the Falcon rep, so maybe they're gonna do something about that. But all in all, we ran RT 660 plus as well. We ran a 295 on an 18-inch wheel. No real problems. I don't know if it was because guys were taking curbs or whatever, but Chris wasn't the only person who had a problem. It was also James Houghton, and I think who's the guy that does the Arrow and the Mustang guy?
I don't know his name.
Damn it, he makes really nice Arrow shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's whatever, but there was a Mustang-shaped wing driving around the track.
I'll put the name in the video.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It'll be right here. Anyway, so yeah, that's how it went. We're loading up now. I'm gonna have to pull the transmission out, figure out what's going on, rebuild it, make some modifications, maybe grind down or machine down that shaft a little bit so it doesn't have that problem again. But all in all, it was a good weekend, a lot of work, really hot. But yeah, that's about it. You know, I'm gonna drink some beers and finish packing up with the boys and do that Saturday night party thing. So thanks for watching. Left hand.
So we're gonna jump and left hand.
Yeah.
Jumping
And kick your feet up.
So like, hold on, hold on.
Far up?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna go like this.
Yeah, that.
Somebody's
Yeah.
getting kicked.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Like a fucking cheerleader. Yeah. Like a fucking cheerleader.
All right.
Left hand. Left hand.
Wait, I thought it was supposed to be right hand, bro.
Yeah, I thought
Jersey Shore. I'm always fist bumping with the right hand.
Justin, he's left-handed.
He's left. That's why. No, everybody go right hand, you go left. You're in the middle.
Right.
Go left.
Whatever.
Always right, dude.
Fine, I'm right here.
Stupid left-handed, the 5 percentile of this world.
So weird right here.
Yo, okay.
The fist bump like a girl.
I forgot he jerks off with the left hand.
I use both.
You gotta get a countdown.
Sorry to catch my
You guys are doing something.
yeah.
All right.
Making a TikTok.
You ready?
You're making a TikTok?
No. Ready? On 3, right? 1, 2, 3.